Noyes, and I'm excited to share my final MAT project with you. We have a few problems at our school, and I was able to look at those problems and design a project around those issues. We have 10 values at Entheos Academy. They are at the forefront of our learning, and we focus on one value each month. However, students have no idea what the values are, as they are only displayed by written word over our library. So that's our first problem, is we need more visuals of our Entheos values. Our second problem centers around parents and our parent volunteers. Parents are encouraged to volunteer 30 hours of service to the school each year. Entheos Academy opened its doors in 2006, and at that time we had nearly 100% of families volunteer and complete their service hours. Over the years that we have been open, our parent participation has dropped by 65%. So that is our second problem. To combat both issues, I came up with the idea to have my 8th grade students put together a participatory art project centered around our values. The participants would be the 8th graders and their parents. Participatory art is a term that describes a form of art that directly engages the audience in the creative process so that they become participants in the event. Students first had to learn about participatory art, and we studied many artists and ideas.
It is, just by the name. Go ahead.
Art you participate in?
Art you participate in. Okay? Anybody else?
Group art.
Okay?
Working together.
Working together. I can't write fast enough. Someone said group art. Okay? Who else has an idea? Yeah? Oh. Stretch with an idea. Who else has an idea? Yeah? Are you Yanni?
No, I was actually.
Oh. What do you think?
Actually like doing the art.
Okay. Who's doing the art?
You.
You?
Yes.
Who's doing the art? Who do you think? You think it's ourselves?
Your group.
Oh, your group is doing it?
Yes.
Okay. As a group? Yes. Show effort? What if you do an art project and the viewers are able to participate in it?
You were like the people that see.
Those are the best.
Yeah. Okay, so Mr. Horsecroft,
I want to be part of the class.
you talk about that. What do you think about that?
Story art? No, I saw one once at a science museum where it's like you walked into this field and it had cameras that saw what you did with your hands and it changed what was on the screen. And so if you did motions, it made colors change and swirl. So the art changed depending on what you did to participate. It's kind
That's
of cool.
interesting. How do you think the artist felt about that? Because the artist is now not in charge of that work.
Then we discussed parent volunteers in the school. Many students had no idea that each family was supposed to volunteer 30 hours at the school each year. We looked at volunteer statistics over the years, and then students decided that they wanted to send a survey home to their parents and ask them why they are not volunteering at the school.
Do you think if your parents were here, then you would try a little harder?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Every time my dad's here, I act so like better.
You act better?
So you go just misunderstand.
Interesting. Tell me more about that. Why would you act better if your parents are here? Hold on. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Yes.
Because you want to prove to them that you're a good kid.
You want to prove to them that you're a good kid. Why would having your parents here contribute to your education?
Because I feel like my mom would get mad at me if I didn't do work.
Our next section was becoming experts on our values. Students were split into groups and assigned a value. Students engaged in a pre-draw to get their initial ideas out on paper. Each group had a packet and had to complete assignments to become an expert. Students looked at the definition of the value and what the value looks like at our school. Students then had to write their own definition. Students also had to look up 10 children's books on the value. They read the book, they wrote what they had learned about the value, then they studied the pictures to see the different ways the illustrators portrayed those values. Working as a group, they were able to discuss the books as well. Students had to interview other students and staff to see what the value meant to them. Participants wrote out their thoughts as well as drew a picture. Students interviewed a parent or guardian on the value. Students were to have a conversation about the value and what the parent thinks the value looks like at our school. Parents were also encouraged to write out their thoughts as well as draw a picture. After students gathered all of this information, they drew 2 final draws, taking into account their own definition, all of the children's books that they had studied, the thoughts from the students, staff, and their parents. The teams then looked at all of the final drawings and decided together which one represented the student body best and why. Some groups put their ideas together, while some groups had one standout. The groups then presented their work to the class, and the class commented and asked clarifying and follow-up questions. The art teacher then chose a handful of students to take the ideas and create a final picture that best represented each value. The pictures were presented to the class for final approval, and the class decided together to create a paint by numbers activity to involve the parents. We invited parents to come and paint with the students. We had a relatively small turnout because we were implementing the project on March 12th. This is the day that the normal school, as we all know it, was turned upside down. To accommodate, I sent home packets with students and they were able to paint the murals with their parents together.
Hi, we're here to talk about our project that we worked on together, which was really fun. Abby, do you want to tell them what we did?
So we got these little squares and then we did like a paint by number. And it was really fun to work together and create this picture.
And it was really cool. The whole concept of it is that we're painting different squares and we don't know what we're doing, and then they all fit together in the end. And so I think that was a really good example of that we need parents and teachers and students all helping together and working on the same page, and we can achieve more when we work together.